in the chat. Don't worry, guys.
Chess
If you're in the
Factory's
chat,
got
I
it.
am paying attention. So always feel free to suggest moves and try to guess the brilliant ideas found by the top players. Yeah, this G5 is, I mean, it's just very strong. I mean, it's also like, as you mentioned, the computer doesn't see it right away because the computer doesn't really work off of its intuition, right? Whereas Anand is this isn't his first attacking game, so he knows what must be done.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. He's got so much experience in this kind of position because he's played this kind of opening for all his life. He knows exactly what to do. But here again, he shows that his calculation is so good. And I'm sure this is not, not in his opening preparation now.
Mm-mm.
But it's really, really amazing amazing attack now.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I think Black has to take on G3 because again, if the knight moves, knight H5 comes, and you might as well take as many pieces as you can. I mean, if your position's bad anyway, take as much material as you can. Keep your fingers crossed and just take everything.
Right.
I think that's a good way of doing things. Yeah.
And now, I mean,
Um.
Black's like best case scenario here is to give back some material, maybe even his queen if he can get like another piece for it. But I mean, hopefully the G5 pawn as well.
Yeah.
But as we'll see, Anand just doesn't let it happen.
No. Because he now plays Rook D3, and this causes a lot of problems here because okay, you are attacking the queen, but you're also keeping your threats alive on the king side. And Black doesn't really have an active response. I mean, in the game, he goes wrong with knight to h5. I mean, the most obvious move here, I think, would be queen to e5,
Yeah,
where
definitely.
I mean, this looks like a really standard way to defend, doesn't it? You defend your knight on f6, you get ready to play bishop d6, now you now have to ask yourself if you're white, what does white do next? Um, but there is a win here. There is actually a win. Pawn takes f6, opening up the g file,
Mm-hmm.
um, threatening checkmate on g7. If black takes for the queen, then you have rook g3 check, so that's game over. And now after bishop takes f6, it might look like black's just about defending because he can go bishop g7 soon. You can't really go rook g3 check, but there's this little thing. I think Jonathan Rowson, a very good writer from England on chess, he once said when you're attacking, you need three pieces to attack. You have your queen, piece number one. You have the rook on d3, piece number two. So it's time to bring in the reinforcements. And here, I think the simplest way to win is with rook to f4.
Nice.
And yeah, this just has ideas. Rook g3, rook h4, rook g4. It's the swinging rook, the famous swinging rook here, Kostya. So,
Yeah,
those
two of
rooks are
them.
swinging into the attack.
Yeah, this is crushing. I imagine after bishop g7, white can try maybe just rook g3 and followed by
Mhm.
f6 or rook g4. And it's just game over.
It's game over, yeah. I mean, let's say bishop g7. Well, now just rook g3, and the problem here is f6 is coming next, and hopefully everyone at home can see that this is it's just game over, isn't it? So yeah,
Yeah.
game over. So very very nice variation. That's very nice variation, and well, in actual fact, I mean this is just a brilliant attacking game, and Black did crumble very quickly here. Knight takes e4 is a much better option than what Maxime played, but he played knight to h5. And again, so impressive here because I think a lot of people would be, oh, look, there's a queen on pre. I can
Yep.
take that queen. So, I can win a queen. But that actual fact, maybe black can survive after that move. And there's a much stronger move. I mean, this game is just so beautiful on a number of parts. And here, Kostya, he plays his g6 move. I mean, what do we think of that move? That's a lovely move, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's also, the whole time we've been focusing on the f6 square, looking for f6, and here comes g6. As soon as the knight leaves the defense of the h7 square,
Yeah,
suddenly g6 and white is just setting up a very, very common mating net here.
indeed. And really, after this move, it's game over. I mean, black tried pawn takes g6, pawn takes g6, rook takes f1 check, bishop takes f1. And even though the black queen is quite near the white king, there's no way through here.
Hmm.
There's no checks available. He's threatened with checkmate on queen h7 and then queen h8 is one way to checkmate. And he must now play knight to f6. But after rook takes g3, he only has two pieces for the queen, and that's clearly not enough. So,
Right.
yeah. And okay, well, a couple more moves to play. Pawn takes e4, and just a little bit of care is required from white here. Bishop e2, e4 check, king g1, bishop c5, and now just king f1. Just a safe move, and I think, there's nothing black can do here. The white king is actually going to be very safe on e1. That's why white's moved it this way. And then he can start playing moves like g7, queen h8 check, and he's a queen up. So
Yeah, I
that
assume the point of king f1 was maybe black was threatening some kind of rook d1 trick followed by e2
ah
check.
very nice. Yeah, actually, that's a really nice. I missed that one. Oh, that's beautiful. Nice touch.
Oh yeah.
So if I go h4 here and just say or g7, and I say, oh, hang on a minute, I'm just winning easily. I'm going to turn off. I mean, I have a friend of mine who I'm keep teaching at the moment. He's quite a good player, and he gets these really good positions. But as soon as he gets a good position, he has this famous saying. He just says the game will play itself, and he turns off and he thinks about what he's going to drink in the bar, and stuff
Right.
like this. So, he might be tempted to play G7, but now this is a really nice tactic you point out there, Kostya. So now you pointed out Rook D1 check, very nice move, and the point is if King H2, Rook H1 is checkmate. And if bishop takes d1, then we have pawn to e2 check. I mean, you might be able to get away with something like king to h2 here. But this is getting very messy, isn't it? Very messy.
Yeah, I mean perhaps after black queens, white might have a direct checkmate. Although I don't see one immediately, but I think
Yeah.
Anand just did the smart thing by just avoiding all this altogether.
Yeah. Oh,
uh,
definitely. I mean, yeah.
just king f1 and I believe he resigned after this move, right? Just because there's no more tricks left for black.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he just resigned here, and he did just do this sensible move, just like, if you can keep things simple and win, there's no point going crazy and involving yourself with loads of complications. Um, so that's not how an old man is supposed to play, is it, Kostya? That was a very nice game.
No,
So
it's just like super direct. He just like played f4, g4, f5, put his knight on g3, and he had to find some very interesting attacking lines. But I think what we can all learn is that like it's not that hard to beat a 2780 player
oh,
with
it's
just
easy.
direct attacking chess.
That's right. Just go for their king, and you're going to win the game. Game over. That's
Hmm.
what he taught us there. So that was yeah, it was a very nice game. Very nice game. And yeah, gives us all hope as we get older as well that if Anand can do it, then maybe anyone else can as well. So I certainly think one of the better games in the whole tournament. Um, do you? I think we maybe can get Peter Doggers on the line soon, who's our man over there.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna call him right now.
sure. And after that, of course, we can look at the other games quickly. We got this great game by Topalov, who had a brilliant well, I say brilliant
Hi
victory.
there.
It's a very strange game. Hello,
Hey
Peter.
Peter, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you guys?
Good.
Great.
Yeah.
We just finished showing the game between Anand and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave.
Right,
Um,
yeah. I was following it. Great game by Anand. Another great game by Anand.
Yeah, so for all of you in the chat, Peter is actually in Norway covering the tournament in person. So what can you tell us about today's round? Any insights?
Well, first, just mentioning that long variation at the end where Black was promoting that pawn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Anand actually saw all that, uh, and also saw that he was winning there. White can actually check on h8, and then get a
Sure.
queen, and then give a rook check, and then in the end he wins the queen on d1 with a rook on d7 discovered check. And still, it's quite interesting that even though he saw that it was winning, he had time enough, and he was patient enough to see that practically speaking, it's of course much easier to play king f1 and not allow anything. So even the line is actually stronger according to the computer. The line Anand played is for humans much better actually. So that I thought it was a nice detail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's good practical advice there, isn't it? That, you know, if you have a simple option compared to a complicated option, and, you know, you can win using the simple option, there's no point, because you might miss something in a complicated thing, and, you know, then you'll be